Yep. First of all, a lot of credit to Matt Figure and his staff. They're working at a program that a lot of people probably in this part of the country doesn't know has a lot of good basketball tradition. Haven't had a really good last few years, but he's changing that mentality back and getting those guys to play really hard. Obviously, gave us some problems in some areas tonight, but I'm proud of our guys for responding and figuring out a way to be efficient enough offensively at the end and to get enough stops to finish the game and get out here with a double-digit victory.
Got a pretty strong start. First half overall was pretty good, but early on, talk about the start because it was pretty good tonight.
Yeah, we were good. We shot the ball well. We had some shots go in from deep, and especially with a couple guys who had been struggling. Tavares and Lindy made a couple early, and they were able to feel good about themselves. I was disappointed that we let that lead us into shooting 21 threes and a half. We shoot the ball well. We have a lot of guys who are capable of making shots. We can't be a team that shoots 40 threes a game. And that was my message at halftime, even with the big lead. I didn't want our guys to start thinking that, we're going to be the Warriors, because we're not. And in fact, I made a point that, we're going to get the ball inside some. And that's on me, because then it stagnated our offense. It made us a little gun shy from taking some of the shots that we normally would have taken. But it was an opportunity for me to give a teaching moment that we have to be good enough to get the ball inside and score in the paint sometimes, get to the free throw line, and we were able to do that at the end.
They made that run in the second half to cut the lead, I think, down to as many as 8 points. What was going on there from you guys?
We were just out of rhythm offensively, and probably my message at halftime had a lot to do with that. I told the guys that we don't shoot threes unless the ball goes in the paint, and I thought it was an opportunity, like I said, for us to grow in that area and learn how to play. Not necessarily through a post player, because we don't have a guy who we just throw the ball to on the block and say go create a mismatch or create a double team or anything like that. But we have to be able to drive the ball. We got to be able to get to the offensive glass. We got to be able to cut and screen for each other to create some easier shots rather than just relying on threes for 40 minutes every game.
You guys were pulled away because Solomon and Shine crashed the boards pretty hard in the second half. Talk about how they played down the stretch.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, that's got to be a part of who we are. We have to be a team that manufactures offense in different ways. Shooting threes was kind of the answer of the day to start the first half. But you got to have other ways to do it, because they're going to be nice where those shots don't fall. And we have to at least know that we can get to the offensive glass, that we can drive the ball and get to the free throw line. Mitchell Solomon caught the ball in the paint a couple times at the end of the game and made some really nice moves. And those are things we need to build on.
Coach, you mentioned they gave you some trouble with some things, and it looked like they got into a little bit of a rhythm offensively about, from the early to the middle part of the second half. Defensively, did you see anything from over on the side that, it looked like one time before media timeout, you wanted to call a timeout and realized, well, I'm going to get one in a few seconds. Am I reading you right?
Yeah. I mean, those things happen, and you can't get it, and you're not sure if you should take it or save it in case the game gets tight late. But quite honestly, they were just more aggressive than we were in the second half. And again, part of that's on me. I kind of not necessarily took my foot off the gas, but I wanted our guys to think about playing the game a different way. We've become this team that thinks we're just going to jump up and make threes every night, and there's going to be a night, like I said, when we don't make them. And I've got to have confidence that we can still score when we don't make threes. But they got into a pretty good rhythm, partly because we were worried about our offense and not focused on defense. We started fouling too much, put them on the free throw line, and then they got really comfortable out there. And then once you start fouling, you're a little less aggressive, and that led to more rhythm from them. So we'll watch the tape and learn from it, and hopefully we can get better. Better to learn after a win, for sure, though.
They started at the beginning of the game, they tried to run with you guys, and you guys have shown that you're not really afraid to run with people. Do you think that was their lack of size that forced them to play like that, or how do you
No,
think
I mean, I've known Matt Figure for a long time. He knows our identity. We play similarly from a defensive standpoint, so he probably felt if they could get out in transition and not have to face our half-court defense, that would give them the best chance to have opportunities to score. So that was probably, I can't speak for him. If I'm guessing, that's what he was doing, is trying to create some tempo so he wouldn't have to run his half-court offense, which you do a pretty good job of not letting teams do what they practice every day. So I just think that was the mindset he was going into, was just try to create some tempo and not necessarily worry about if they made enough shots, he'd be okay with it. They just didn't make enough shots tonight.
They threw a lot of different defenses at you guys. There's some zone, there's some man, there's some press. How do you think your guys handled that?
Not great. Not great. I think that's the other part that led to us shooting a lot of threes in the first half. They went zone, and we just started shooting them the moment we could see the rim. And there was opportunities to throw the ball in the paint and drive it into the middle of the zone and create some more opportunities. And again, first time we've really seen that much zone. So it's an opportunity for us to learn.
This may sound like a vague question, but you talked about coaching tonight away from the three-point a little bit. At this stage, are you feeling pretty good about how you're coaching and how they're responding, the response to your coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably the thing I feel the best about is that these kids allow me to coach them. And I think they do that because they know I care about them as people. They allow me to be hard on them when the time is right because they know it's not personal. They know I'm just trying to get the best out of them on the court, and that they know that the moment the game is over or practice is over, when it's in practice, that we're back to having a normal personal relationship. But in that moment, I have to teach them, I have to demand from them, and I have to hold them accountable.
I know it's early, but how close do you think the guys are to playing a complete game that you want them to play?
Well, it's still a ways off. As you saw, Devon had a little bit more. Again, I was a little bit hesitant to put him out there in the second half as much because I saw the game getting a little tight. No, he's not ready for that moment. And so as he continues to get comfortable, he has some pretty good moments early on, getting to the glass himself, being effective. And, again, we're still missing another big piece of our team, especially from a defensive standpoint. So I would say we're probably at least a month away before we know. By then, hopefully we have young Cooper back, and then we'll start to see how it comes together.
When you're looking at how you want these rotations to come in off your bench when you're not shooting as well like the start of the second half, what's going through your mind? Are you looking for to put in like Brandon to get more ball movement, or are you looking to put in more guards and forwards to get more shooting or get inside more?
Well, it just depends on the part of it. The opponent dictates that. Where can you take advantage of them most? Obviously, when you're not shooting the ball well, which we did early on, you may look to a Dezago or something like that. But if you need to drive the ball, he may not be the best option there. Tonight, we needed to throw the ball into the paint, and we did that late in the game and threw it to Mitchell Solomon a couple times, and he was able to deliver for us.
And Jeffrey Carroll was an All Big 12 preseason selection, but he's still coming off the bench. How helpful is it to have him coming off your bench, and you guys outscored Austin Peay tonight 43-6?
Well, he's bought into the team. That was part of the conversation he and I had when we knew we would have him back. We had gotten to a good rhythm with the starting unit that was already starting and didn't necessarily want to try to disrupt that. He didn't blink, hasn't hesitated, hasn't questioned it. He just wants to have a great senior season. That's all I've talked about, was trying to have him have a successful season in his senior year. And he knows he's going to play. He knows he's going to have opportunities, and starting is not as big a deal as us having the best opportunity to win.
Just kind of going off his questions, one thing that was noticeable about this game is even in the first, third minute, you were making lineup changes, and it was consistently changing the lineup throughout the game. Is that something, how do you think that's going to go as the season continues? Do you think you're going to continue to switch the lineup like that, or do you think as you go into especially Big 12 play, have maybe more of a set lineup through most of it?
Yeah, I mean, every game kind of takes in its own identity. Foul trouble dictates that. Matchups dictate that. And so I don't try to think too far ahead because I don't know. I mean, injuries may dictate that. And so you just kind of go game by game and figure out, all right, from the starting point, here's the game plan. Are we executing the game plan? And if we are, we stick with that a little bit longer. If we're not, maybe you start to try to make some adjustments from there. But it's pretty game by game for me.
Can you talk about the importance of Sunday's game with Mississippi Valley? And I think, a lot of us have looked ahead and we kind of know where they are statistically and what they are. But that's your last game before a 6-day wait against a top 10 team. So how important is that game from a coaching and a setup standpoint to get you guys ready for Wichita State?
Yeah, I mean, I tell our guys every game, tonight was the biggest game of the year. Seriously. We were playing. We get an opportunity to do this 30 to 35 times a year. That's it. And so if we don't appreciate that opportunity and we don't play like it could potentially be the last time. I mean, we never know when a guy steps out there. It could be the last time he plays. And so we try to take that approach with every game. And Mississippi Valley State's really important because it's the next game. And that's how we approach this. We don't think ahead. That next game may never come. We know how crucial every opportunity is for us to get better. We don't really even focus on the opponent as much as on Sunday we have an opportunity to play better than we did tonight, an opportunity to learn from the things we didn't do well, an opportunity to grow and develop even more of that depth, maybe get more opportunities for Devon to play, more reps for him before, Big 12 play. And so it's just another opportunity for us to grow as a team, and that's how we look at it.
Regarding all the lineup changes and especially tonight, was that kind of more trying to get the whole lineup in and get the depth going? What was behind that?
No, there were some specific things that we weren't doing on the court. And when those things happen, guys know that they're going to be held accountable. Transition defense was not very good tonight. And, it was a couple times we had to sub 5 guys out. And I don't let them point the finger. When something happens, we get scored on defensively. And I don't care if it was the point guard or the center, we got scored on. The point guard didn't get scored on. The other team got points, and we didn't. So it's on us to find a way to come together and get those things done. And when we don't, they understand that there's a consequence to that. And a lot of times that means a substitution. So that's how it works.
Well, it looks like also you were spreading it around. Nobody really played more than 25 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, that wasn't intentional by any stretch, as much as just kind of how it went tonight. But it's good. I guess we got enough quality depth to still win by double digits without anybody being totally taxed.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
You guys had it going early in the first half, shooting a three-point shot. Was that a result of the looks that it gave you or how the offense was being run?
We were just playing unselfish, just running. We're getting good shots. And, as a team that can shoot the ball well, we're going to shoot them.
What changed in that second half? They pressured you guys a little bit more. But what did you guys see?
We wanted, we wanted to emphasize getting to the cup. So, we had to, pull back on a couple of our threes, try to drive the basket. We had more size. We had more physical guys. We have bigger guys, way bigger. So we stopped settling and trying to get to the cup.
You guys have been starting all season. How big is it since Jeff's been back, and even your bench as a total, being able to come into the game when you guys need to go to the bench for a rest and help keep up the scoring production?
It's good, it's Jeff, a vet. He knows the game. Coming in aggressive, all our guys come in aggressive. They coming in with energy, everybody. Even we got our full team back, Devon, Cam coming off the bench. All those guys come in with energy, and they help a lot.
How important was it for Jeff to kind of still be consistent and still be scoring even in the second half when we all struggled a little bit?
It helped a lot. We were emphasizing trying to get it inside. We weren't as successful as we wanted to be, but with Jeff knocking down a couple shots, being still aggressive, it helped us get over the hump.
Lindy, how much does it help your confidence when you can come out there and hit those 2 quick three-pointers like you did?
Oh, it boosted real quick. First one, Shine gave it up to me. I wasn't even looking for it, and then I hear him in the back. And just to see it to go in, it helps a lot.
What did you see happen there? And what was going on there in the first half of that second half where they closed the gap and kind of made it a little tighter than maybe you wanted it to be?
We were just, not locked in mentally. Just a couple of defensive breakdowns, fouls, letting them get to the free throw line, just little things, and it just build up over time.
Lindy, it wasn't just you. Shine had the 3, Carroll had a 3 early on. How much better is this team, and how much do you think you can rely on threes to kind of get early momentum in games?
It's not something that we totally rely on, but it's definitely one of our strengths. So whether or not we're going to shoot them, I don't know what else to say to that. That's just us. We're a really good shooting team with Thomas coming off the bench, Shine, Kendall's able to knock it down, BA, even Cam being able to step out. Like, we're just a three-point oriented team.
No, obviously, Coach probably happy you're making in the first half, but do you want more emphasis in the ball in the second half?
Yeah. We shot, I think he said 21 threes.
Out of 33 shots we took was 3, so yeah.
And so he really emphasized it, trying to get into the paint first before we shot a 3. So that's what we were trying to do.
Tavares, after missing so much time last year, how do you feel you are physically right now?
Physically, I feel good. Some days after the game, a little fatigued, or in the game I might get a little fatigued. But other than that, I feel pretty good. I feel great. To be out there playing again, I don't think about it. I don't even feel like sometimes I don't feel like I was out for a year.
Anything else, guys? Thank you, gentlemen.